in this space, especially there is a lot of, you can say, hype versus that utility aspect, right? And so on that note, you know, as a community, how do we make that switch from more of a utility aspect rather than a hype aspect? I think it's a really interesting thing to kind of think about and to digest, and I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I think this is really interesting because I mean, for like where I come from, I mean, it's like common sense, I mean, it's if you really focus on delivering value and if as long as you help others and you create value, profits a naturally occurring byproduct, right? And in this space, it's not, I think so many people, because of how they initially think and what they understand as how to get there. And I think as human beings, we all want to travel the path with least resistance. But I think that's the other thing too, is as a collector, and being involved in like hundreds of projects and really so many, like for me, truthfully, the reason I'm here is belonging. And I think for marketing, right, there's constants. And so for me, like, right away, belonging is the one thing that I think that if we lead with, and we NFTs, if you deliver on that and you have a linear experience, that everything is all good, right? I mean, it's the biggest thing is like the hype. That's something you really need to see through, and we need to get better at being educated and being more demanding, so that we have the data that we need to establish who's really in this for the short-term games, the hype, and who's really here to deliver an experience. And I think you can see a lot of that, the white paper, the roadmap, the engagement. But also, I think, as what we were speaking about earlier, about like the market we're in right now, the cream's rising to the top, and a lot of the hype and all that, again, we are more demanding. We're more risk, we're not jumping into risk, right? We're protecting what we have, and not wanting to spend that ETH, all the other coins, right? So it takes a lot more to get people to move right now. And so you're seeing a lot of the hype and a lot of those things, again, short-term gains. It's not going to work, and you'll see the evolution go ahead. And what will also happen is everyone will see the correlations, right? You're going to see the artists, the collections, the projects that actually focus on the experience, because we are coming into an experience economy, and the more people do these things, they'll see appreciation. You'll see the value of your collection go up, and it'll be a monkey see, monkey do, human see, human do thing, where the ripples will only spread. And once everybody gets it, that, hey, if we really deliver and we stop, focusing so much on what we can extract and like what we can actually give these individuals, and we create long-term sustainable competitive advantages with high barriers to entry, then everything gets really great. So I think for what I see coming up, I think that there's going to be the chaos is going to melt away. You're going to see the market mature, and you'll see a lot of these great collections with really amazing experiences. Experiences, oh my gosh, that probably people will pay millions of dollars for, and people will still not let go of, right? All inclusive, amazing things. So yeah, that's where I think we're going.
Yes, Steve, you want to add anything regarding that as well, from what your experience has been so far?
Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
So I wanted to touch on to what Richard was mentioning before about market maturity. I actually made a LinkedIn post about this recently. I think we are in like a shift between the immature market shifting towards the mature market. Immature being projects with all hype, no utility. It's still happening. I'm not saying it's gone, but what I'm trying to say is I think that slowly but surely it is going to dry out and fall away and crumble, because there isn't any longevity in a project like, and I'm not throwing shade here, but it's just the first that came to mind, like Goblin Town. It's an experience. That's the only thing they provide, but that is something that Richard did mention, is people are willing to pay for that experience. So it all depends at the end of the day.
I'd say that it's biased to say that there's nothing long term going to come out of Goblin Town. I think
Yeah,
it's early to say that's wrong.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
You
it's
never
really
know
no,
what the
not
fuck some of
definitely
these
not
things are going to
long-term.
turn
one of
into,
the
bro.
yeah, exactly. One of the cool
Yeah,
things I think
yeah.
One of the cool things Goblin Town did was that they offered, a way for people to not only come together, that belonging effect, but also to make them happy and to laugh, right? Like during these times, especially in this market, the way it is, the world, the way it is, everyone feels doom and gloom and stuff. And I think what they did the best was bring everyone together. They made people laugh in all these spaces, and they played a show, right? They played a show the whole entire time, which was amazing. And you went to every Twitter space, and they always did the same voice. They always stayed in character. So I think that's some things you can take a look at. And Steven, I see you raising your hand, so I'll let you speak real quick.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that was an awesome insight, and I completely agree with that. And I definitely think like like it's more so like it was circumstance that what happened to Goblin Town happened. But I think that they did strategically do something that was very unique to the market at the time. And while like we said before, it's not for the longevity, but in the short term, it was a really unique idea. But obviously, with projects like that, there's no roadmap, there's no utility. At the end of the day, you're just buying a random drawing of a goblin or whatever it is, and it's not what people really want. I'm sure people aren't investing $3,000 to $7,000 in Goblin Town just to get a goblin. It's more so about what comes with it. But if there's no utility, then